from a Parramatta point of view. It's not quite ding dong, the witch is dead, but Brad Arthur really needed to make it past week 2 in the finals. He's done that now. I think all hell would have broken loose if the Eels didn't orchestrate the victory that they did, and they lived to fight another day.
Parramatta through to the prelim final. Did it in style as well. A fantastic game, especially given the circumstances late last week, the story that you broke, Hoops, and unsettled within the camp of Parramatta. A lot of pressure on them. Is the pressure off now? Is it a pass mark? They're through to the prelim final. Are we happy?
It should be off. Like, if you look, Braith, I've written tomorrow about Parramatta and about where they sit in Brad Arthur. At the beginning of the season, nobody tipped Parramatta to win the comp, and not everybody had Parramatta in their top 4. They've now finished. They finished top 4, and they've now made it to the final 4 turns of the competition. And they don't have the best roster in the NRL. They are short of the best roster, so they are sitting about par right now. But there will still be an expectation from disgruntled Parramatta fans that it's a premiership or nothing, and I get that. But by the same token, with the squad Parramatta have got, I think they've done a pretty solid job getting where they're at now.
Yeah, I disagree, Kenty, that it's a pass mark, given that I think some people did tip Parramatta to win the competition. The Eels coach and their players spoke at the beginning of the year about the fact the window is wide open. This is the strongest roster they've had, and this is their best opportunity. And it's not just about their coach, Brad Arthur, it's about the players, a lot of them who have been part of that roster for a long time. It's about the fact that it's the longest drought in the history of the NRL at the moment, 36 seasons all the way back to 1986. And it's a legion of supporters who have been desperately craving success, and they're close, but they're not there yet.
Jimmy, of course, it is a pass mark.
No, it's not.
They're
Phil.
playing...
You ask any retired player whether the Eels making a prelim
the top 4
is a pass mark. They finished in the top 4.
They've won 2. They've broken the Brad Arthur hoodoo. They didn't just beat Canberra the other night, and Canberra had won all those games. They smashed them. They blast them off the football park. They're going up to Townsville confident. Any side that makes the top 4, in my view, is a pass mark.
I think if they make the grand final...
I cannot understand this external pressure. Why? External pressure should be on clubs like Knights, West Tigers, Titans...
No, they're hopeless. They've been going nowhere fast for a long time. Parramatta has consistently been challenging as one of the better sides for a number of years. A pass mark is if they make the grand final. A pass mark is not just finishing in the top 4.
Parramatta haven't got the best roster, Hoops.
Well, let's go through it. There's Junior Borlo. He's an Origin and international player.
They've got good players. I'll concede that. They've got good players, but they don't have the roster Penrith's got.
They're not far off. They've beaten Penrith a couple
I
of
would
times
argue
this
that
year.
they don't have the Penrith roster. I'd argue that they don't have the Roosters roster.
Well, they can't. They're not going to win.
Arguing the Melbourne roster. Oh, there's some good rosters there that I would put ahead of Parramatta, but the Parramatta have outlasted certainly the Roosters.
But I think the most important thing is that they're losing Marnie and Papali'i next year. So to be a successful year, if they don't win the comp this year, can you see them win the comp next year? This is a small window, an opportunity here that they've got to win a premiership. They're in good form. They go to take on the Cowboys, and if they win, they could possibly meet Penrith, who they've beaten. One of the only teams that haven't beaten them.
Do you know why they lost those 2 players you're talking about? Have you seen their salary cap and the money Gutherson's on? Brown wants, Moses wants.
Well, everyone's got a salary cap.
All
the 16 clubs
Junior
have got salary caps.
Ryan Madison,
But what's that going to do?
Well, they're overloaded on those players I've just mentioned.
But that's why they've got to win this year, Buzz. That's what I'm saying. They've got to win this year, mate. They don't win this year, I can't see them winning next year without those 2. Have they bought anyone?
That's legitimate. That's legitimate, bro. But that doesn't mean they've underachieved this year.
I'm not saying they've underachieved.
Yeah, look, I think Parramatta are right in the fight. I think they're without a hope.
I'd argue they've underachieved if they lose this week. I'm with Hoops on that. I think they've got to get past this week. They're finished in the top 4. They've beaten Penrith. They've been up here for so long now. It's, as I said, I don't think their fans and the board are going to be happy if they bear out this week.
They never are.
Take nothing away from what they did against the Raiders. They were absolutely clinical. It was an awesome performance. But it was at CommBank as well, where their record is 32 wins out of 43 games. It's almost 75%. I still think the jury's out. We see how they go in Townsville. They're in the fight. If they play their best, they can absolutely...
But hold on, they earned that home game.
You said their roster. Do you think they can win the comp with that roster?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I think they can win it, but I don't think they're the best team in the comp with the roster.
Well, I think
if every team goes out and plays the potential, Penrith win the comp. That's as simple as that. Of course they're capable of beating Penrith on the day. Of course they are. They've done it twice this year. But I'm just saying, I don't sit there and subscribe to this idea that Parramatta have underachieved if they don't win the comp. I get your point about the window being open, that they're going to be better off this year than they will be next year, given who's coming and going at the club. But they're still not the best team in the competition at the moment.
Josh Hodgson's he's a handy signing if he stays fit for Reid Marnie.
It'll be good if he stays fit.
Yeah. And so they're missing a very good edge forward. You know, I don't think the window closes this year. I just don't.